My name is Emma Parker, and I'm 26 years old. The moment I warned my family that my sister's fiancé was a dangerous con man, they turned on me. They threw me out of her wedding plans. They blocked my number. Then, they told the entire family I was jealous, unstable, and having some kind of breakdown. My mother looked at me like I was disgusting and said, "Olivia deserves a real life. You're just bitter because you've never achieved anything. Stop trying to destroy your sister out of envy." My father's voice was even colder. "We're done with your drama. Don't show your face at the wedding." I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't say another word. Because on March 14th, 2026, when those chapel doors opened, the truth I had been carrying for 8 months walked in with me. And everything my family believed about my sister's perfect man fell apart in front of almost 200 guests. Before I tell you what walked through those doors and destroyed that perfect wedding, subscribe and stay with me, because this is a story about family, betrayal, proof, and what happens when telling the truth costs you everything. Now let me take you back. It started in April 2020. I was 20 years old and in my junior year at Arizona State University in Tempe, Arizona. My roommate, Megan, came back to our apartment one night with a black eye and a story about walking into a door. At the time, I was volunteering part-time at a women's shelter called Hope Haven. It was just volunteer work, nothing serious, but I knew the signs. The way Megan jumped when her phone rang, the way she said sorry for everything, even for things that were not her fault. Her boyfriend, Tyler, was a law student, charming, smart, from a good family. He was the kind of man who knew how to hurt someone without leaving marks people would believe. When things got worse, I helped Megan pack in the middle of the night. I drove her to Hope Haven myself. I stayed with her through intake. I missed my midterms. My GPA dropped below 2.0. I was placed on academic suspension. My parents' response was simple. "You're being dramatic, Emma. This isn't your problem." But it was my problem, because Tyler hired an expensive lawyer and the charges disappeared. And because that kind of lawyer was exactly what my sister Olivia had become. Olivia was 3 years older than me. She went to Duke Law School, top of her class, graduated in May 2019 with every door open. By the time she was 27, she was working as a corporate lawyer at a firm in Dallas, Texas, making $185,000 a year. She was everything I wasn't. Everything my parents thought I would never be. I remember a family dinner in November 2024. I was 24, still trying to rebuild my life. Olivia was glowing while talking about a legal conference she had attended in Denver. Mom listened like every word was gold. Then she turned to me. "And what about you, Emma?" she asked. Her voice had that sharp edge I knew too well. "Still at that shelter place?" "Hope Haven," I said. "Yes, Mom. Still helping people." Dad didn't even look up from his plate. "When are you going to finish your degree? You're 24. Olivia passed the bar at 22. Olivia shifted in her chair. "Dad, that's not fair." "It's reality, sweetheart. Emma made her choices." I looked at the wall behind him. Olivia's Duke diploma was framed perfectly. Next to it was an empty space where mine would have been. Mom dusted Olivia's frame all the time. She never touched the empty space. But that night, Olivia mentioned something that stayed with me. "I met someone at the conference," she said. "His name is Ryan Cole, real estate development. He asked for my number." I felt something then. Not jealousy, just unease. The kind you can't explain. I didn't know yet that the failure my family kept throwing in my face would become the only reason I could save them. Dropping out to help Megan was not me giving up. It was me learning how to see what other people missed. I went back to Hope Haven as a volunteer in 2022. By September 2024, they hired me full-time as an intake coordinator. I made $44,500 a year. Mom called it charity work, not a career. But my supervisor, Rachel, saw something different. "You see patterns other advocates miss," Rachel told me one afternoon while we reviewed case files. "Women who seem fine but aren't. Men who seem charming but aren't. That isn't luck, Emma. That's skill." "I just pay attention," I said. "Most people don't. That's what makes you good at this." My desk had 17 thank you cards from former clients. Women who rebuilt their lives. Women who had believed nobody would help them. One card from 2023 said, "You believed me when no one else would. You saved my life. A.R." I kept every card. They mattered more to me than any diploma ever could. By December 2024, Olivia was seriously dating Ryan. He started showing up to family dinners. Charming, attentive, generous. He brought expensive wine. He asked Dad about his engineering work. He complimented Mom's cooking. Perfect son-in-law material. "Olivia tells me about your defense projects," Ryan said to Dad one evening, smiling easily. "I'd love to hear more about that work." Dad beamed. He actually beamed. In the kitchen, Mom cornered me. "Why can't you find someone like Ryan? Successful, stable." "I'm focused on my career, Mom." "Career?" She laughed, short and mean. "Emma, you make $45,000 a year helping strangers. That's not a career. That's you avoiding reality." I said nothing. I had learned that silence was safer. That night, Ryan handed Dad a business card. Cole Property Development Group. Luxury residential investments in Dallas, Denver, Phoenix, and Los Angeles. After dinner, alone in my apartment, I searched the company online. The website looked professional. Stock photos, vague words about premium developments and exclusive partnerships. No real project addresses. No client testimonials. No team photos. I felt that unease again. Then I pushed it away. Rich people's websites looked like that sometimes, didn't they? Polished and empty? I should not have ignored it. What I didn't know, what none of us knew, was that between November 2024 and March 2025, Ryan was living two lives. Monday through Thursday, he was in Denver, Colorado, with a wife and a 7-year-old son. Friday through Sunday, he was in Dallas with my sister. Business trips were dates with Olivia. Late nights at the office were hotel rooms paid for with his wife's credit cards. He did not choose between them. He lied to both of them. Until March 2025, when he made his choice. He told his wife he was going to the store. He took nothing. Then, he never came back. He had already moved everything that mattered to Dallas. That was the day he chose Olivia. And that was the day Amanda Cole's nightmare began. On July 11th, 2025, a Friday at 3:17 p.m., a woman walked into Hope Haven. She was not what people expect when they think of a shelter client. She was well-dressed, professional. Her teacher ID from Lincoln Elementary School in Denver was still clipped to her purse. She looked like someone who had her life together. But I had learned long ago that abuse does not care about job titles. Her name was Amanda Cole. She was 32 years old. The bruise on her left cheek was 8 days old, yellow-green at the edges. She held her son's hand like it was the only thing keeping her standing. The boy's name was Ethan. He was 7. He clutched a stuffed dinosaur and would not look me in the eye. "I don't know if I should be here," Amanda said from my doorway. "I have a job. I have a house. I'm not homeless. I don't know if this is the right place." "Abuse doesn't care about your job," I said gently. "You're exactly where you need to be. Sit down. Tell me what happened." While Amanda filled out intake paperwork, I sat with Ethan and gave him crayons. He took them silently. He only used black, gray, and dark blue. No bright colors. I had been trained to notice things like that. Childhood trauma does not always announce itself. Sometimes it whispers through silence and color choices. Amanda's story came out slowly. She married Ryan in June 2016. Ethan was born in 2018. The early years were happy, or at least she thought they were. Ryan's work required travel. Now she understood what that travel really was. The control started in 2022. The first violence came in November 2024. He pushed her into a wall. She tried to get a restraining order, but the judge denied it. Not enough proof of an ongoing threat. Ryan promised counseling. Instead, he got worse. Then, on March 12, 2025, a Wednesday morning, Ethan was eating cereal when Ryan kissed Amanda's forehead. "I'll be back in 20 minutes, he said. He walked out to get milk. He never came back. "When did you realize he wasn't coming back?" I asked. "Thursday," she said. Her voice sounded empty. "When I checked our bank account, $73,500 was gone, transferred between Tuesday night and Wednesday morning while she slept." She showed me the bank statement on her phone. Multiple withdrawals, all sent to an investment account called Cole Capital LLC. She had thought it was Ryan's business. It was his escape fund. "The police said he's an adult," Amanda said. "He can leave if he wants. They called it a civil matter." I documented everything. I photographed the bruises. I entered her story into our case system. Then she pulled out a photo of Ryan. Professional headshot, navy blazer, expensive watch, easy smile. I studied it carefully. I did not recognize him. Denver was hours away from Dallas. Our worlds did not overlap. I entered his name into our informal shelter network database. Ryan James Cole. Date of birth, June 12, 1991. Last seen in Denver, Colorado, March 2025. Pattern: financial abuse, domestic violence, abandonment with minor child. Alert if contact occurs. "If you ever see him," Amanda said, crying now. "If any woman mentions him, please warn her. Please." "I'll keep it on file," I said, "and I'll flag it across our network." I had no idea that 3 days later, everything would change. While I helped Amanda settle into room 12, Ethan drew a picture at the table. A large man, a small woman, a tiny child, all separated by thick black walls. When I asked about it, he whispered his first words to me. "Daddy said I'm bad if I tell secrets." "Ethan, you are not bad," I said. "You are very brave. This is a safe place." He added one more thing to the picture: a closed door. "What is the door?" I asked. "The store," he said. "Daddy went through it. He's not coming back." I filed the drawing in Amanda's case folder. Standard procedure in cases involving children. That weekend, Olivia posted on Instagram, "Date night with my favorite person." There was a photo of her and Ryan at a rooftop restaurant in Dallas. She looked happier than I had seen her in years. I did not connect it. Not yet. On Monday, July 14th, 2025, I was eating a sad desk salad during lunch when Olivia's post appeared on Facebook. He said yes. Engaged to my best friend. March 2026 wedding at Hill Country Chapel. 8 photos. Olivia and Ryan at a bookstore. Kissing downtown. A close-up of her ring. A massive diamond. The comments were already rolling in. Mom was there first. So proud of you both. Ryan, welcome to our family officially. I smiled and started to scroll, then I stopped. Photo number 4. Ryan in profile. That angle, that jawline, the small scar above his left eyebrow. My coffee cup froze halfway to my mouth. I zoomed in. The scar. The silver ring on his right hand. The watch. No. I ran to my office. My hands shook as I logged into the case system and opened Amanda's file from 3 days earlier. I opened the photo she had given me. Then I placed my phone beside the screen. Same man. Exact same man. No, no, no! I said out loud to my empty office. It could not be. But it was. Same scar, same eyes, same jaw, same ring, same watch. Different haircut, maybe. But the same person. My sister's fiancé was Amanda's husband. I checked the dates fast. Amanda's missing person report, March 18th, 2025. Olivia had posted that she and Ryan had been dating since November 2024. He had been with both of them. At the same time. For 4 months, he had balanced 2 families in 2 states. I pulled public records. Marriage license, Ryan J. Cole and Amanda G. Cole, Denver County, Colorado, June 30th, 2016. Status, active. No divorce filing. Not in Denver County. Not anywhere in Colorado that I could find. I checked Olivia's engagement announcement again. Full name, Ryan James Cole, 34, Dallas. Same person. Legally married. Planning a second wedding. Emma? Rachel walked past my door. Are you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost. I think I just found one. What? My sister's fiancé. He's married to my client. Rachel's face went pale. Are you sure? I showed her the photos side by side. There was no doubt. She whispered, Does your sister know? No, I said, and she won't believe me when I tell her. I tried everything. I want that to be clear. I tried every right way before I chose the nuclear option. 2 days after I found the truth, I asked Olivia to meet me for coffee. Just us. No family, no Ryan. I need to tell you something about Ryan, I said carefully. We were in a quiet corner of a coffee shop. He's married. Currently, legally married to a woman in Denver. They have a 7-year-old son. Olivia laughed. Actually laughed. What? Emma, that's insane. Where is this coming from? A woman came to my shelter last week. Her husband abandoned her in March. His name is Ryan Cole. Olivia, I saw his photo. It's him. The laughter stopped. You're serious? Yes. Ryan told me about his ex. They separated years ago. The divorce just hasn't been finalized. There is no divorce filing. I checked public records. They are still married. Because she won't sign, Olivia snapped. He told me she might try to interfere. This is exactly what he warned me about. Olivia, she tried to file a restraining order. Olivia stood. I'm not doing this. You're jealous. You've always been jealous. Now you're using your job to sabotage me. Please, just look at the marriage certificate. She did not stop. She did not turn around. She just said over her shoulder, "Get help, Emma. Seriously." I sat there with 2 untouched lattes going cold. A week later, I tried with my parents. Olivia refused to come. I brought printouts, the marriage certificate, the missing person report. Mom and Dad were doubtful, but willing to listen. Until Mom called Ryan and put him on speaker. "I'm so sorry Emma brought this to you," Ryan said. His voice was calm, smooth, understanding. My ex-wife Amanda has struggled with mental health issues since our separation in 2020. I've tried to help her, but she has become fixated. The marriage certificate is real. We are technically still married on paper, but we haven't lived together in years. "Why didn't you tell Olivia?" Mom asked. I did. Olivia knows everything. I didn't want to burden you with my past, but I should have been more open. I'm sorry. After the call, Dad turned to me. "Did this woman tell you she and Ryan were separated?" "She said he lived with her until March 2025. "That's what she believes," Mom interrupted. "Emma, I think you've been manipulated by a mentally ill woman. You're too close to this work. It's affecting your judgment." On August 10th, I emailed detailed evidence. Photos, bank statements from Amanda showing the joint account was active through March 2025. Ethan's school records listing Ryan as an active parent. Ryan answered the family with his own evidence, a fake separation agreement from 2020. Fake letters from a Denver therapist about Amanda's unstable attachment. Fake letters from a lawyer about a divorce Amanda supposedly refused to sign. All forged, all professional-looking, all believed. Olivia forwarded his email to me with one sentence. "This is why I don't trust you anymore." On September 14th, I was invited to a Clear the Air family dinner. Ryan was there. It was the first time I had met him face to face since learning who he really was. I brought Amanda's written statement. Ryan had an answer for everything. "Why were you paying rent on a Denver apartment until March 2025 if you separated in 2020? "I was helping Amanda financially. Paying her rent was the right thing to do." "Why was your name on the lease as a co-tenant?" "Her credit was bad. I co-signed to help her." Dad looked at me. "He has an answer for everything, Emma. You have to admit it makes sense." "Or he's prepared for this," I said. Olivia exploded. "Enough! I'm marrying Ryan. If you can't be supportive, don't come." Across the table, Ryan and I locked eyes. His eyes were cold, calculating. Mine must have shown what I knew. "I know what you are." Later, while everyone cleared the table, Ryan leaned close to me. Quiet, just for me. "You should drop this. For your own good." Not a threat. A warning. On October 5th, Olivia announced the wedding was postponed. It had originally been scheduled for October. Now it was moved to March 14th, 2026. "We want more time to plan the perfect day," she said. "Spring at Hill Country Chapel will be beautiful." I knew the real reason. Ryan needed more time. Time to secure his place, time to reach more money, time to make sure I was completely discredited before the wedding. And he did exactly that. On December 18th, 2025, Ryan convinced my parents to sign power of attorney and estate management papers. "Tax planning," he said. "Protecting your assets for the future." Olivia's law partner, Brian Foster, drafted the documents. But Ryan brought his own financial advisor, a friend from Denver, not a licensed planner. They walked Mom and Dad through paperwork that gave Ryan legal authority to manage $2,837,000 in assets. I was not invited. I found out from Grandma Victoria, who had heard it from Mom. "Your parents signed something," Grandma told me over the phone. "Financial papers, with Ryan." "What kind of papers?" "Power of attorney, estate planning. Your mother said Ryan cares about their future." "Did they have their own lawyer review it?" "Ryan brought someone. Your mother said he was very professional." Then Grandma's voice dropped. "Emma, what is that boy after?" "Everything," I said. "He's after everything." I texted Olivia. "Please tell me Dad didn't sign financial documents with Ryan." Her response came at 11:47 p.m. "Why do you care? You're not part of this family anymore." Read receipt. No further response. In January, I stopped trying to convince them. I started building a case instead. On January 15th, 2026, I drove to Denver. Amanda had moved out of the shelter in November and was living in transitional housing. I knocked on her door. "Emma?" she said. "What are you doing here?" "I found him." Her face lost all color. "You found Ryan?" "He's in Dallas. He's getting married in March." She sat down slowly. "To someone else?" "To my sister." She could not finish her next sentence. "He's doing it again," she whispered. "I've tried to warn them. They won't listen. Amanda, I need your help. I need you to come forward." "I can't," she said. "Ethan just started sleeping through the night. I can't drag him back into this." "He convinced my parents to give him access to $2.8 million, I said. "He's going to take everything and disappear, just like he did to you. If we don't stop him, there will be another woman. And another." Amanda stared at me for a long time. "If I do this, will it be enough? Will they believe me? Or will he destroy me again?" We spent a week building the evidence packet. 23 documents, marriage certificate, restraining order paperwork, missing person report, joint tax returns from 2016 through 2024, Ethan's birth certificate, school records, bank statements showing the account Ryan drained, credit cards in his name with Denver addresses active through March 2025, utility bills, car insurance, photos, 9 years of time-stamped family pictures, text messages Amanda had saved, and the email from Ryan, dated March 12th, 2025. "I'm leaving. Don't look for me. Don't contact me." Everything was organized in color-coded folders, photographed, backed up. On February 10th, I contacted Officer Daniel Reeves from Dallas PD. We had worked together on shelter cases before. I explained the situation. "Bigamy is a felony if he completes the ceremony," Reeves said. "But proving intent is tricky. Wire fraud is stronger. $340,000 moved across state lines? That's federal." "What if we confront him at the ceremony, before the vows?" "Legal, if what you say is factual. But I can't be there officially unless something happens. I can be nearby." "He'll run." "Then I'll be ready." He handed me his card. On the back, he wrote, "Call me when it's time. I'll be close." 2 days later, while researching Ryan's background, I found something else. A lawsuit. Torres v. Cole, San Diego County, 2020. I called Michelle Torres. She answered on the third ring. Her story sounded just like Amanda's. She met Ryan at an industry conference in 2018. They got engaged after 4 months. He invested her savings, $85,000. Then, he disappeared in 2019. She was too ashamed to press criminal charges. She settled the civil case for $12,000. That was all she could recover. "Who is he marrying now?" Michelle asked. "My sister." Long silence. "I'm sorry," she said. "I should have reported him criminally. Maybe he wouldn't have." "This isn't your fault," I said. "It's his. But Michelle, would you be willing to give a statement?" "Yes," she said. "Anything, if it stops him from doing this again." Her email arrived the next day. Subject line: "I should have stopped him in 2019. Help me stop him now." Now I had proof. Ryan was not just an opportunist. He was a serial predator. 3 targets in 7 years. And Olivia would have been the 3rd woman financially destroyed. Unless I stopped it. On February 20th, Amanda and I finalized the plan. She would drive to Dallas on the morning of March 14th. She would bring Ethan, not as a weapon, as the truth. It is harder to dismiss a child than a file folder. She would bring the evidence folder and arrive at Hill Country Chapel by 1 p.m. She would wait in the car until the ceremony started. We would enter during the "speak now or forever hold your peace" moment. Officer Reeves would be parked nearby. Hotel security would be warned that there might be a disruption. If Ryan ran, they would stop him until police arrived. No shouting, no drama, just the truth. "What do I tell Ethan?" Amanda asked. "Tell him you are making sure his dad can't lie anymore." "What if your family never forgives you?" "Then I'll know I chose the right thing over the easy thing," I said. "And I can live with that." On February 21st, at 9:43 a.m., I received an email from the wedding planner. "Per the bride's request, your RSVP has been canceled." 1 hour later, my phone rang. "Mom." "I assume you saw the email." "I did." "You are not welcome at Olivia's wedding. This is final." "Mom, I'm trying to protect her." "No," she said. "You're trying to destroy her happiness because you can't stand to see her succeed where you failed." I didn't make any of this up. Ryan is a good man who loves your sister, and you are a bitter, jealous failure who can't accept that. Don't call this number again. She hung up. The call lasted 47 seconds. I tried calling back. Blocked. I tried Olivia. Blocked. I tried Dad. Blocked. In 47 seconds, I lost access to my entire family. Later that day, I watched the family group chat. I had not been removed yet. 73 messages about me. My breakdown. My instability. How everyone needed to focus on positive things. That evening, the final notification appeared. Emma has been removed from Parker family. You are no longer a participant in this conversation. Only one person texted me privately. Grandma Victoria. I don't believe them. Call me when you can. I love you. The next day, I visited her at her assisted living facility. I told her everything. She listened without interrupting. At 89 years old, she had seen enough to recognize the truth. You're going to ruin your sister's wedding in front of 200 people, she said finally. Yes. And they will hate you for it. They already do. Not like they will after. I know. She took my hand. Your mother has always chosen appearances over truth. Your father follows her lead, but you, Emma, You are like your grandfather. Stubborn, honest, sometimes foolishly so. He would have done the same thing. Was he hated for it too? Sometimes, but he could look himself in the mirror. Can I live with that trade-off? I asked. You have to, she said. There is no other option left. The night before the wedding, at 11:47 p.m., I got a text from an unknown number. Last chance to back down. You won't win this. Ryan. He knew I was planning something. He just didn't know what. I did not respond. I deleted the message and turned off my phone. Tomorrow, the truth would walk through those doors, whether anyone wanted it to or not. On March 14th, 2026, Amanda left Denver right on schedule. Ethan was in the back seat. The evidence folder was in the passenger seat. I arrived at Hill Country Chapel early and sat in my silver Honda in the back parking lot. I could not stay home. Through my windshield, I watched the venue come alive. White delivery vans unloaded flowers. A string quartet practiced inside. Guests began arriving in luxury cars. This was Olivia's world. The world Ryan had convinced her he belonged to. At 1:58 p.m., a white limousine pulled up. My sister stepped out. She was stunning. A custom designer dress, a veil catching the afternoon sun, white roses in her hands. She was smiling, the happiest I had ever seen her. My heart broke. I texted Amanda. She just arrived. She looks so happy. Amanda replied, We're here, parked under the trees in back. Ethan is scared, but ready. I wrote back, I'm coming to you. We do this together. I found Amanda's car 2 rows over and got into the back seat. Ethan was coloring quietly with his dinosaur in his lap. Amanda looked terrified. How are you feeling? I asked. Like I'm about to throw up? Me too. We sat in silence. At 2:03 p.m., Officer Reeves texted, 2 miles away, standing by. If he runs, I'll be there fast. At 2:10, Amanda and I looked at each other. Ready? I asked. No, she said, but I'm doing it anyway. We walked to the back entrance. Security saw us and nodded. I had called ahead. We stood in the hallway outside the chapel doors. Heavy wooden doors separated us from almost 200 people. The officiant's voice carried through the wood. We gather on this beautiful March afternoon to celebrate the union of Olivia Grace Parker and Ryan James Cole. Amanda squeezed my hand. I knew what was coming. Olivia had chosen the full traditional ceremony, including the part most modern couples skip. If anyone here knows of any legal reason why these two should not be joined in marriage, speak now, or forever hold your peace. 1 second. 2 seconds. 3. 4. I pushed open the doors. Sunlight flooded the hallway as we stepped inside. Almost 200 heads turned at once. The music stopped. Amanda walked down the aisle calmly, Ethan's hand in hers, the evidence folder in her other hand. I walked behind them, a united front. Mom stood, confused. Then she saw me. Emma! Amanda's voice carried through the chapel. My name is Amanda Cole, and I have a reason why these two cannot be legally married. Dead silence. Olivia looked at Amanda, then at Ryan. Who is this? For the first time since I had known him, Ryan's face showed real panic. Olivia, this is a misunderstanding. I can explain. No, Ryan, Amanda said. You can't. I stepped beside Amanda and looked only at my sister. Olivia, I said quietly. I'm sorry, but you need to hear this. Mom's voice shook. What have you done? I did not answer her. Amanda opened the folder and held up the first document. The marriage certificate. Large enough for the front rows to see the official seal. Ryan James Cole and I were married on June 30th, 2016, in Denver, Colorado. We lived together until March 12th, 2025, 11 months ago, when he told me he was going to the store and never came back. Olivia's voice broke. That's not true. Ryan told me about you. You're his ex-wife. You're separated. We were never separated, Amanda said. We were never divorced. I filed a missing person report when he vanished. She held the certificate higher. This is still legally valid. The officiant stepped forward and examined it. Her face went pale. This appears to be an active marriage license. Ryan tried again. Baby, she's lying. We separated in 2020. Amanda pulled out the lease. Then why were you paying rent on our Denver apartment through March 2025? She pulled out school records. Why is your name on our son's school records through March 2025? Then tax forms. Why did you file joint taxes with me in April 2024? The documents spread across the front of the chapel like evidence in a courtroom. Brian Foster, Olivia's law partner and the best man, stepped forward. He looked at the papers with a lawyer's eye. Ryan, he said slowly, these are legally binding documents. Joint tax returns filed 8 months ago. A lease active until March 2025. He looked at Olivia. He was living with her while dating you. Those documents are out of context, Ryan said, his voice rising. Amanda cut through him. You filed joint taxes with someone you separated from in 2020? You shared car insurance? Ryan, stop. You're caught. The officiant shook her head. I cannot continue this ceremony. This is a legal problem. That was when Ethan spoke. A small 7-year-old voice in a silent chapel. Hi, Daddy. Ryan froze. You said you were going to the store, Ethan said. You said 20 minutes. He looked at Amanda. How long, Mommy? Almost a year, baby. Ethan turned to Olivia. Are you the new lady? Olivia could not speak. She only nodded, tears streaming down her face. He told Mommy he loved her too, Ethan said. Then he left. Is he going to leave you too? Women started crying in the audience. This was not adult drama anymore. This was a child telling the truth in a voice too young to lie. Dad stood. His voice shook with rage. You have a son? A 7-year-old son? And you were going to marry my daughter without telling us? Brian Foster was on his phone. His face went white. He pulled Dad aside and showed him the screen. I could not hear what he said, but I saw Dad's face change. Shock, then fury. How much of our money did you take? Dad's voice carried across the room. Ryan backed away. That was an investment we discussed. You discussed a tech fund, Brian said. I just checked the account. Ryan transferred $340,000 out on March 9th to an offshore LLC. He set it up in February. Mom covered her mouth. You were going to steal from us? Ryan looked at the exits. Security was already there. He ran anyway. He made it 3 steps before a guard blocked him. Sir, please remain here. He tried the other door. Another guard blocked him. I don't have to stay here, Ryan said. Real panic was in his voice now. I haven't done anything illegal. I pulled out my phone and called Officer Reeves. "We need you now." Ryan turned on me. "This is your fault. You poisoned them against me." "I brought the truth," I said. "You poisoned yourself." Reeves answered on speaker. "On my way. Keep him there." Then Olivia screamed. "Get out! Get out of my sight!" She ripped off her veil. Then she pulled off the engagement ring, the giant diamond Ryan had used to sell the dream, and threw it at him. It hit the wall. "You told me you loved me!" she cried. "I do love you." "You have a wife, a child!" She could not finish. She turned on me next. "And you humiliated me in front of everyone. You couldn't just tell me privately?" "I tried," I said quietly. "For 8 months. You wouldn't listen." "So you did this? You destroyed my wedding in front of 200 people? I stopped you from marrying a con man who would have emptied your bank account and disappeared," I said. "You can hate me for that." Amanda spoke directly to Ryan. "I spent 11 months wondering what I did wrong. I wondered if I had been a better wife, a better mother, quieter, smaller, easier. Maybe you would have stayed. I blamed myself. I let Ethan blame himself." She paused. "But standing here, watching you lie to them the same way you lied to me, I finally understand. It was never about me. It was never about Olivia. It was you." Ryan tried to interrupt. Amanda held up her hand. "You're not a husband. You're not a father. You're not even a very good con man. You got caught." She removed her wedding ring and dropped it on the floor. Then she turned to Olivia. "I'm sorry this happened to you. I know what it feels like. But life gets better once he is gone. It's hard, but it's better." The doors opened. Officer Reeves walked in. "Mr. Cole, I'm Officer Daniel Reeves with Dallas PD. You're being detained for questioning regarding wire fraud, bigamy, and theft. You have the right to remain silent. I'm not saying anything without my lawyer." "That is your right, sir." Security escorted Ryan out. As he passed me, he looked at me one last time. Pure hatred. I met his eyes. I did not flinch. The doors closed. Almost 200 people sat in a chapel. No wedding, no groom. Only the wreckage of a beautiful lie. The officiant spoke softly. "I'm afraid the ceremony cannot continue. I am so sorry." Guests started leaving. Awkward, whispering, some recording, some posting. The wedding cake sat untouched in the corner. 3 tears, gold initials. A monument to a lie. I started toward Olivia. "Olivia, She turned with anger in her eyes. Don't come near me. Don't speak to me. You did this. You destroyed this. Get out." "Okay," I said quietly. I walked out alone. I sat in my car and watched everyone leave. Guest after guest walked out of the chapel. Some looked toward me. A few pointed. One of Olivia's college friends walked right up to my window. "You should be ashamed," she said. I said nothing. She walked away. By 3, the parking lot was nearly empty. I saw bridesmaids helping Olivia into a car. She was still wearing her wedding dress, still crying. Mom and Dad were with her. None of them looked my way. My phone buzzed. Officer Reeves texted. "Ryan is at the station. He already asked for a lawyer, but we have enough on wire fraud at minimum. You did the right thing." I replied, "Doesn't feel like it." He wrote back, "It never does. But you saved people from him." I drove home. My apartment was exactly as I had left it. Silent, empty. I should have felt like I had won. I was right. Ryan was exposed. Olivia was safe. But I felt hollow. I made tea and let it go cold. I sat on the couch and stared at nothing. At 9:47 p.m., I texted Grandma Victoria. It's done. Olivia hates me. Mom and Dad hate me. I was right, but it doesn't feel like victory. She replied immediately. Being right rarely does, honey. But you chose her life over her approval. That is love. Real love. That night, I wrote in my journal. March 14th, 2026. I stopped the wedding. Ryan is in jail. The truth is out. Olivia is safe. And I have never felt more alone in my life. They did not thank me. They did not say I was right. They blamed me for the method, not Ryan for the crime. I kept asking myself if there had been another way. Could I have done it differently? But I had tried everything. Private talks, evidence, begging. They chose him every time. So I chose the only option left. And now, I was radioactive. The next week passed in broken pieces. On Monday, March 16th, Ryan had his arraignment. I did not attend. Officer Reeves called me after. Bail is set at $250,000. He can't make it. His assets are frozen. He's staying in custody. Good. The FBI is taking over. Wire fraud crossed state lines. They're checking for more victims. I thought of Michelle, Amanda, and all the women we did not know about. The local paper ran the story on Wednesday. Dallas man arrested at wedding in alleged multi-state fraud scheme. The article said Ryan Cole was arrested at his wedding after his legal wife interrupted the ceremony. It mentioned a pattern of targeting professional women, gaining financial access, and disappearing with their money. It mentioned Amanda. It mentioned Michelle. It mentioned the $340,000 taken from my parents. And yes, it mentioned me. The bride's sister, an advocate specializing in domestic violence cases, recognized Cole from a client's case and spent months trying to warn her family before the public confrontation. I read it once. Then I closed it and never opened it again. By Thursday, my parents had met with the FBI. By Friday, they learned the truth about the money. Brian Foster called me that evening. Emma, I thought you should know. They recovered $127,000. Ryan had it in a second account he hadn't moved offshore yet. But the rest is probably gone. So they lost over $200,000? Plus wedding costs, almost $260,000 total. He paused. Your father said you tried to warn them in July. If they had listened then, they would have lost nothing. I said nothing. For what it's worth, Brian said, you were right about everything. I should have listened too. My family had not figured that out yet. Olivia tried to return to work Friday. She lasted 2 hours. A client recognized her from the videos online and asked questions. She had a panic attack in the bathroom and went on leave. I wanted to call her, to check on her, to say something, but my number was still blocked. On Saturday, March 21st, Grandma Victoria called a family meeting. She did not invite me. This meeting was about me, not for me. She was in the hospital again because of heart problems and stress. I learned about it later. Grandma was 89, wearing an oxygen mask, barely strong enough to speak. But she used her voice to defend me. Emma saved Olivia's life, she told them. She saved your retirement, and you treated her like a criminal. Mom tried to argue. She humiliated us publicly. No. Grandma said. Ryan humiliated you. Emma exposed it. There is a difference. Her voice was weak, but sharp. You chose a con man you knew for 8 months over your daughter, who you have known for 26 years. Do you understand how that looks? According to Mom, Olivia cried. She was right, Olivia said. She tried to tell me. I called her jealous. Yes, Grandma said. And your mother called her bitter, and your father called her toxic. All of you chose wrong. Dad asked, What do we do now? Apologize, Grandma said. Thank her. Let her back into this family before I die, not knowing if you fixed this. Olivia said she was not ready to face me. You don't have to be ready, Grandma told her. You just have to try. The next morning, my phone buzzed. A text from Dad. First contact in 31 days. Emma, I need to say something. You were right about Ryan. We should have listened. I'm sorry we didn't. I stared at the screen for 3 full minutes. Then I typed, Thank you for saying that. He replied, We got some of the money back, $127,000. The rest is probably gone. You tried to warn us in time to stop this. We didn't listen. That's on us. I'm sorry Claire got hurt. I'm sorry it had to be public. Your mother and I need time. Olivia needs time. But Victoria is right. We need to try. Can we have coffee next week? I deleted my answer 3 times before writing, Yes, Thursday at 10? He replied, I'll be there. That same afternoon, I got an email from Amanda. She told me the FBI had contacted her. She was officially a victim in the case, which meant she might get some money back if Ryan was convicted. Not all of it, but something. More importantly, Ethan was okay. His therapist said facing Ryan might actually help him heal. Amanda attached a drawing, a stick figure man behind black bars, 2 people outside holding hands, a son in the corner. The title was Safe Now. Healing, visible on paper. I replied, Give Ethan a high five from me. And Amanda, you are braver than you know. Keep going. On Thursday, March 26th, I met Dad at the same coffee shop where Olivia had walked out on me 8 months earlier. Dad arrived alone. Mom was not ready yet. We ordered and sat down. The silence was uncomfortable. Your mother wanted to come, he said finally. She's just processing. I understand. I don't think you do. He looked at me. Really looked at me. Maybe for the first time in years. She's ashamed, Emma. She told the whole family you were having a breakdown. She defended Ryan to our friends. And she was wrong. That's hard for her to admit. I know. Dad stirred his coffee, but did not drink it. We compared you to Olivia your whole life, he said quietly. College, career, success. We made you feel like you weren't enough. My throat tightened. And then the one time your work mattered, the one time being a shelter advocate gave you the exact knowledge we needed, we still didn't listen. He looked down. I'm sorry for that. Truly. They were the words I had waited my whole life to hear. Thank you, I managed. Thank you for saying that. Can we try again? As a family? Yes, I said. But slowly. With boundaries. I can't go back to being the disappointment. I need respect. You have it, he said. You earned it, even if we were too proud to admit it before. We talked for 45 minutes. About the money, about Ryan's case, about Olivia, about Grandma Victoria. When we stood to leave, Dad hugged me. He had not hugged me like that since I was a child. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "For all of it." I held on longer than I meant to. On Saturday, March 28th, I got an email from Olivia. Subject line: "I need to say something, Emma." She wrote that she did not know how to start, that she had written the email 15 times and deleted it 14. Then she said the words, "You were right. Ryan was exactly what I said he was." She did not listen. She called me jealous. She told everyone I was having a breakdown. She was wrong. She said she was not ready to see me yet, not ready to forgive how I did it. But she needed me to know that she was alive because of me. Her money was still hers because of me. She was not married to a con man because of me. Then she asked if we could have coffee. Just 20 minutes, somewhere quiet. I read the email 6 times. Then I replied, "Monday, 10 a.m. Same place Dad and I met? I'll be there. I love you, Olivia." 4 minutes later, she answered, "See you Monday. Love you too." On Monday, March 30th, Olivia arrived in jeans and a sweatshirt. No makeup, hair in a ponytail. Exhausted. Nothing like the polished lawyer I knew. We hugged awkwardly, then sat. "I look terrible," she said. "You look like someone who has been through hell." I haven't been sleeping. Every time I close my eyes, I see the doors opening. Amanda walking in. Everyone's staring. "I'm sorry." "Don't," she said, holding up her hand. "Don't apologize for saving me. I'm angry at how you did it. I'm humiliated. But I'm not angry that you did it. Does that make sense?" "Yes." I keep thinking, if you hadn't done it, if I had married him, if he had taken everything and left, I would be Amanda. Her voice broke. "And you wouldn't have been able to say I told you so. Because you tried. God, Emma, you tried." I reached across the table. She took my hand. "I didn't know what else to do," I said. "You wouldn't listen." "I know. I chose him over you. A man I knew for 8 months over my sister I've known my whole life. That's on me." We talked for 22 minutes. About therapy, about work, about Ryan's trial, about the wedding dress still in her closet because she could not look at it. About us. "This doesn't fix everything," she said when we stood to leave. "I'm still hurt, still angry. But we're going to be okay. Maybe not today, but someday." "Someday is enough," I said. She hugged me again. This time, it was real. "Thank you," she whispered, "for not giving up on me, even when I gave up on you." The next day, Dad called. "It's Grandma. You should come." Victoria had been rushed to St. Mary's Hospital. Heart failure, stress, age. The family was already in the waiting room. When I walked in, I saw Mom, Dad, and Olivia. The first time all of us had been in the same room since the wedding. Mom saw me. "Emma." "Mom?" Awkward silence. Then she said, "She's been asking for you." "Can I see her?" Mom stepped aside. "Go." I walked into Grandma's room. She looked small in the hospital bed. Oxygen mask. Monitors beeping. But when she saw me, She smiled. "There's my girl," she whispered. "Grandma, did they apologize?" I laughed through tears. "Working on it." "Good. I can rest now." She pulled me close. "You did the right thing, Emma. Do not ever doubt that. You chose truth when everyone else chose comfort. That is courage." It didn't feel like courage. It felt like losing everything. "Courage never feels brave in the moment," she said. "It feels terrifying. That is how you know it matters." She squeezed my hand. "Now go back out there and let them love you properly. They are learning. Give them time." By 7 p.m., Grandma was stable. The crisis had passed for now. In the waiting room, Mom spoke first. To me. "I owe you an apology. A real one." She looked at Olivia, then back at me. "I called you toxic. I said you were destroying Olivia. I was wrong. Mom, let me finish." She took a shaky breath. "I have spent my whole life caring about appearances, about what people think, about looking like the perfect family. When you tried to warn us about Ryan, all I could think was, what will people say if we cancel the wedding? I chose reputation over truth. I chose pride over your judgment. I'm sorry." "Thank you," I said. Olivia spoke next. "We all chose wrong. But you chose right, even when it cost you everything. That is courage I don't have." Dad put his arm around my shoulder. "What do we do now?" he asked. "How do we move forward?" "Slowly," I said. "With honesty. With boundaries. I'm not going back to being the family disappointment. I need respect. I need to be heard." "You have it," Mom said. "You have it," Olivia added. "You always had it," Dad said. "We just didn't show you." The nurse came out. "She's asking to see all of you together." We stood as a family. Broken, hurting, but together. Grandma looked at us gathered around her bed and smiled. "There you are," she said. "My family, finally acting like one." That night, I wrote my final journal entry for that chapter. 17 days since the wedding. Olivia and I had coffee. Dad apologized. Mom apologized. Grandma was still fighting. Ryan was in jail. The trial was coming. Amanda would testify. Michelle would testify. I would testify. Justice was slow, but it was coming. That same day, Rachel called while I was at the hospital. I'd been promoted to senior advocate. Salary, $52,000. A small victory, but mine. For the first time in 17 days, I felt like maybe I had not lost my family forever. Not forgiveness, not full healing. Just a first step. And that night, that was enough. I looked around my apartment, and it felt lighter. My phone buzzed. A text from Olivia. "Thank you for today. Thank you for being patient with me. I love you." I typed back, "I love you too. Always have, always will." From my closet, I could see the lavender bridesmaid dress, tags still on. I had kept it as a wound, a reminder. But looking at it now, I had a different idea. Tomorrow, I would donate it to Hope Haven's clothing closet. Someone else could use it. Something meant to exclude me could help someone else start over. I didn't need the symbol anymore. Have you ever been completely right about something, but everyone you loved refused to believe you? Have you ever watched someone walk toward danger and been powerless to stop them? I have read your comments. So many of you have been there. You saw the red flags. You tried to warn someone you loved, and they called you jealous, bitter, crazy. I want you to know this. You are not alone. Some people asked if I regret how I did it. Here is my answer. I regret that it had to be public. I regret that Olivia was humiliated. I regret that almost 200 people watched her world fall apart. But I do not regret stopping it. 8 months later, here is what I know. Ryan Cole was sentenced to 4 years in federal prison for wire fraud. The judge called him a serial predator. Michelle recovered $30,000. Amanda recovered $25,000. My parents recovered $127,000. The rest was gone forever. Olivia started therapy. She went back to work. She started dating again, carefully. She asks me to look at every guy she is interested in. A second pair of eyes, she says. I always say yes. My parents sold their big suburban house and moved into a smaller condo downtown. A smaller life. A simpler life. They seem happier now. Mom and I have coffee once a month. It is still awkward sometimes. She still says things that hurt, even when she does not mean to. I have learned to say, "That's not okay, Mom." Sometimes she apologizes. Sometimes she doesn't. We are working on it. Dad and I are closer than we have ever been. Olivia and I have coffee every week. We talk about everything now. Work, life, therapy, fear, trust. We are not the sisters we were before. We are better, more honest, more real. Grandma Victoria passed away in her sleep 4 months after the wedding. Peacefully, surrounded by family. The last thing she said to me was, "I'm proud of you, girl. You chose hard right over easy wrong. That is the only choice that matters." I think about that all the time. I learned something through all of this. You can be right and still pay for it. You can save someone and still lose them for a while. You can do the right thing and watch it cost you everything that mattered. And sometimes, you still have to do it. Because truth matters more than approval. Because someone's safety matters more than your comfort. Because loving someone sometimes means letting them hate you while you save their life. I am not a hero. I am just someone who refused to stay quiet when silence would have been easier. I chose my sister's future over her approval. And I would do it again, every time, not because it was easy, because it was right. If you have ever chosen truth over comfort, boundaries over approval, or someone's safety over your own peace, I see you. I believe you. You are not crazy. You are not bitter. You are not jealous. You are brave. And sometimes, being brave means being hated for a while. Sometimes, it means standing alone. Sometimes it means the people you saved blame you for how you saved them before they thank you for the outcome. But you do it anyway. Because truth does not need permission. It only needs a voice. And if no one else will speak it, you will. My name is Emma Parker. I am 26 years old. I am a senior advocate at Hope Haven Shelter. I make $52,000 a year helping women rebuild their lives after violence and manipulation. My mother finally stopped calling it charity work. My father finally stopped comparing me to my sister. And my sister finally said the words I needed to hear. You saved my life. Thank you. It took 8 months. But some things are worth the wait. If this story made you think about your own family, your own hard choices, or your own worth. Leave a comment and tell your story. And if you want more stories about choosing what is right over what is easy, subscribe and stay with this community, because none of us should have to stand alone forever. Until next time, choose yourself. Set your boundaries, speak your truth, and never apologize for saving someone who is not ready to be saved. They may thank you later, and if they don't, you will still know you did the right thing. That has to be enough.